So there are now multiple deadly threats facing the United States. And when I say multiple, I mean multiple. This is a warning. I'm going to explain what's going on, how we are now being attacked, what is happening in the United States and abroad that is threatening us here in the United States. So make sure you stick around for this entire video and I'll explain exactly what is going on. So ever since the United States decided to pull out of Afghanistan, we started to see more and more attacks. But why? Well, according to experts, the reason why the United States is getting attacked more now is because we are seen as weaker. And it's because of the president. That's what we're hearing. Now, I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the United States is weaker under President Biden or under former President Donald Trump? Let me know down in the comment section below. But here's what's happening. We are seeing the United States get attacked. It says U.S. says Iran is responsible for Sunday's attacks on merchant ships in the Red Sea. And guess what? It was not just merchant ships. It was also the USS Carney. What we know is that there were multiple missile and drone attacks on 3 civilian cargo ships and on the USS Carney, which is a naval destroyer, which was actually responding to distress calls. That happened on Sunday. Guess what? Now the United States says it is threatening appropriate responses after Iran-backed assault on commercial ships. So the United States is coming out firing, saying they are going to respond in kind. What does that mean? Well, expect these attacks to continue. Expect these attacks to come faster. They're not going to be few and far between. These are going to be more consistent. So be prepared for that. But that is not the only thing that is cause for alarm. Here's another attack, and this is something that many people are worried about. What we continue to hear is that regards to this outbreak of this mysterious pneumonia in China. Well, what we continue to hear is that the World Health Organization says it's nothing to really worry about in other countries. Well, I can tell you right now that the 2 countries, Netherlands and Denmark, in conjunction with China, are very concerned with this illness, with this mysterious pneumonia, with this new outbreak, because they say they don't have answers. But look what they're saying now. It says U.S. health officials are looking into pneumonia outbreaks in 2 states, and they say that the flu is on the rise. Well, this is why some are saying this could be the next attack. Because what we are seeing is that right now, the flu cases are on the rise, and yes, pneumonia in children, okay, infant pneumonia. This is cause for alarm because now officials are also saying that RSV lung infections are near the peak for the season. This is early on. We are in the beginning of December. This is very early for RSV to peak. This is very early for flu to be at such a high level. And now with these childhood pneumonia cases, that's a huge concern. But what is the threat here? What is the big threat? Well, here's the warning. I provided you with this warning over the last few days as well, is that healthcare professionals are worried that the treatment that we need to cure this infant pneumonia, the cure is antibiotics. The problem is if we do not receive the antibiotics that we need, if we don't receive the ingredients to make the antibiotic. Well, and I talked about this the other day as well, 95% of all the ingredients we use to make our medicine here in the United States, guess who it comes from? China. That is a cause for alarm. That is a huge concern. But why? Because China has been friendly to us, or fairly friendly to us. But what is the big thing that China and the United States are fighting over right now? It's Taiwan. Some are saying that if the United States doesn't help Ukraine win the war between Russia, that is going to be a sign that tells China that the United States is not as powerful as we once were. And that could be when China decides they are going to invade Taiwan. They are going to take over Taiwan. And the United States has been saying, no, you're not going to do that. We are going to protect Taiwan with everything we have, no matter who is coming after. If it's China, so be it. The United States will protect them. But if the United States jumps into a war with China, do you think we get all these ingredients that we need to make our medicine? No. But again, how could this happen? Where do we stand with Ukraine funding and hoping that Ukraine wins this war against Russia? Well, here's what we know. The White House is warning it is out of money and nearly out of time to aid Ukraine. We also heard that if the White House doesn't get additional funding for Ukraine soon, Ukraine is going to lose this war, Russia will win, and the biggest question is, would the additional $100 billion that we've already spent, was that now just a waste of money? Were we just frivolously throwing the money away? That's the big question. Now, what I can tell you is that the United States wants to support Ukraine. The problem is the United States has issues of its own, like they just talked about. Pneumonia. We still have issues with protests here in the United States, okay, because of what is going on between Israel and Hamas. Again, happening in another country, but it's also impacting us right here in the United States. And some are saying that we have to address our problems here at home first before we go and fix problems elsewhere. But again, I bring this up because this is why some are saying this is another deadly threat to the United States. Because we have attacks on our Navy destroyer, okay, and on cargo ships. That's over in the Red Sea, not even close to us, but it does impact us here in the U.S. But again, we got that, we got pneumonia, we have pets are being infected as well. We have so many other issues. We got money for Ukraine, trying to pass additional funding for Israel, pass additional humanitarian aid for Gaza as well. We're trying to deal with the border crisis down in the southern border between the United States and Mexico. That's a big issue right now. And all this stuff, while all this stuff's happening, again, keep in mind that we are 1 year away from a presidential election. 1 year away. And that's why some are saying that these threats to the United States are only going to increase. They're only going to amplify. And if you remember, I talked about this a few days ago as well. I talked about how there are more attacks on critical infrastructure here in the U.S., okay, on our electrical grid, on our water supply, just internet services. These things are going down right and left simply because this is a easy in for people to attack the American people, attack our infrastructure. So, just wanted to fill you in on what's going on because the biggest concern right now is that Congress cannot agree as to where to start. And if they can't agree where to start, there's no way they're going to come to an agreement on passing any massive bill, especially if it's $60 billion going to Ukraine. And that initial funding to Ukraine could be what stops China from trying to win back Taiwan. Could be what stops China and the United States from going to war against each other. Could be what stops the United States from funding other countries and not addressing the issues right here at home and addressing the southern border. So again, experts are telling us this is the next deadly threat against the United States. It's all these things combined. But let me know. What are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. But again, this is what we got as of today. A lot of things are happening, but I promise I'll be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is two things. First, hit the like button on this video. Also, click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. And I'll see you guys on the next one.